Most Americans associate the 1936 Olympics with Jesse Owens, who took home 4 gold medals in track competitions at the Summer Games. But curator Susan Bachrach says there was a bigger winner in Berlin.
I think it's important that we call these Olympics the Nazi Olympics. There's a reason for that, because Owens' victories notwithstanding, it was a propaganda victory for Germany.
Germany in 1936 had not yet instituted the Holocaust, but the country had implemented laws discriminating against Germany's Jews, leading to the first serious effort in the United States to boycott the Olympics.
It almost succeeded. One side said that the Olympics were for athletes, not for politicians, and that one could separate sports from politics. The other side said that Nazi Germany was using the Games for propagandistic purposes.
That began before the Games. Germany was the first Olympic host to publicize the Games with a torch relay. It ran from Olympia, Greece, through 7 European countries to Berlin. Bachrach says she would not be surprised if some visitors to the Holocaust Museum draw comparisons with the protests during this year's torch relay and the controversy surrounding the China Games.
I think it's inevitable when visitors come to this exhibition, with all the reporting that there has been about the Beijing Games and the interest in, as we come closer to those games, that will be in the back of people's minds when they go through and look at this history.
Nate Larmore from Seattle, Washington, is one of them.
You have a Germany that wanted to find respect amongst the nations of the world, and they looked at the Olympiad as a means of doing that. And the irony, of course, is in trying to get the respect of the world, they had to hide a lot of the things that they were doing.
Ralph Kupka, visiting the United States from the Netherlands, says comparisons between Berlin and Beijing are exaggerated.
Germany in the 1930s is far more aggressive than I think the government in China is today. And so I think it's not a fair comparison to make.
Lisa Delpy, an Olympic scholar and associate professor of sports management at the George Washington University, agrees. She says China has changed dramatically since her first visit 10 years ago.
People would not ever talk to me about where they worked, where they lived, what they did. It was very controlled. Over the years, this last time I went back 3 months ago, people were inviting me to their homes. They wanted me to spend the night. They're telling me all about their businesses, and it's just night and day.
And Delpy says China, like every Olympic host, is using the Games to showcase the country.
They're welcoming the world, because for so many years, they were not welcoming the world. And I think now they've built many hotel rooms, and they are very happy to have tourists come to Beijing and come to China.
That is considerably different from Hitler's goals in 1936. In 1938, the Nazis would begin their invasions of other European countries. 4 years later, Hitler would begin to implement his systematic plan to exterminate Europe's Jews. By 1945, the end of World War II, 6 million Jews were dead. Susan Logue, VOA News, Washington.